The thing, the last couple of talks I've been talking about, as a quote from the 17th Karmapa about finding our home within ourselves. And there's always going to be things, aren't there, you know, in life. There's always going to be stuff that comes up. And we didn't have power for 10 days. I mean, for 2 days. Bill, I think he just got his power. The Dharma Centre just got their power. So there's always worse things. And then of course you look at the world, we're not in Gaza. We're not in the Ukraine. But anyway, we all have our trials and tribulations, don't we? We all go through this diagnosis from the doctor. Really, it freaked me out because of my family history. So we all go through these things, and you can't pretend it's not happening, and you can't pretend you're not upset, and you can't pretend that you're beyond being upset. You can't. It's not useful to tell yourself that you shouldn't be upset. It's not useful to tell yourself that you shouldn't be scared. It's not useful to tell yourself you shouldn't be worried, right? You're lying in bed at night and you hear trees crashing around you, tree branches crashing around you. You're worried. If something happens with your health, you're worried. This idea, if you're a Dharma practitioner, that that you should be beyond this. But I don't think that's the way to look at it. You should be with your experience, be with your honest experience, and not to get lost in it, but to be with it, not to deny it. This sucks. It sucks, doesn't it, Bill? Being out of your house for 10 days and coming home to, all of the carnage on your property and in your fridge. You know, um, it's not pleasant. But we know through this practice, we know our direction home, don't we? We know our direction home. And we know that that home exists. And so when we have the opportunity, it really helps us to give ourselves fully to this exploration and this understanding of this home, this place within ourselves, that within our hearts, that is clarity, that clear feeling, that open feeling, that expansive feeling, to develop that, to strengthen it, and to see in the center of that and supporting that is love, and to see that the expression of that is compassion. So even when we're in the middle of our poor me moments, we understand what's happening. And we understand it because we have a strong enough faith, because we've spent enough time in the experience. We've had the insight into this clarity of heart, into this love, this compassion in the heart. It's not going to change what's happening, but it gives us a confidence. It gives us a confidence. But what we want to do a lot of times, right? What we want to do is ignore the way we're feeling ignore what's going on and say, oh, I just need to be calm. But if that's not happening, we want the suffering to end in the moment. But sometimes we've got no choice but just to be with what's taking place. And I'm being very honest with you now, one of the things um, that came up for me is I'm getting old. I know it's about time, right? It's about time. But it's like you look at your mortality, right? Excuse my language, but fuck, there it is. There it is. We look at a body that is not perfect, a body that maybe has disease. We look at a body that is fragile. We look at a body that has compromises, that's been compromised. Nothing we're going to do is going to change the nature of the body. Nothing we're going to do is going to change that we're all going to end up in the graveyard. Nothing we're going to do is going to change the fact that this body is going to break down. Somebody asked Namjo Rinpoche, uh, can you tell me how to die? And he said, no. No, they asked him if they, yeah, could you talk about dying, about a good way to die? And he goes, no, but I'll talk about how to live. And so that's where the focus is, and that's in the heart. That clarity, that compassion, that love, that quietness that we explore, that we mine in the heart. That shows us how to live. To really appreciate the day, to really appreciate our relationships, to really appreciate all that's in life. But it's not to deny. We go through periods, we go through experiences, but we come back to the heart. We come back to the awareness. We come back to that clarity. And that's our sustenance. And what a gift to develop the ability to be able to see that in our daily life. What a gift to be able to connect with that. During our day. What a gift to be able to share that with others. What a gift to be able to practice together. What a gift to know that there are things in this life of ours that are fundamentally so good, so worthwhile. The ice storms come and go, man. The ice storms come and go. but we are the receivers, if you will, of this incredible gift. And it's not anywhere else but within the essence of your experience. That's the direction home. That's the direction home. So when you're going through and throwing out all the rotten stuff in your fridge, don't lose sight of that to the best of your abilities. And there's times where you are going to lose sight of it, where the fear overwhelms you, right? Where the sorrow overwhelms you, where the uncertainty overwhelms you. But if we really look at it, it only overwhelms us because we want things to be other than what they are. The moment we let go of that, the moment we see this in its full expression, Mhm. That's the work. That's work, my friends. That's the training, right? That's the work. That's the work. So I'm really looking forward to being at the Dharma Center and being with our Sangha, with people that want to come together and do this practice. And I'm really looking forward to all the times we have in the future to have these classes, to have more retreats, to have Zoom retreats, because it's an opportunity for us to explore all of this together. So even if you're not coming to the retreat, just keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind.